Hi, it's Alex here and welcome back to Adventure Noobie channel. Today I wanted to do a video about something that I just felt this weekend. It was an amazing weekend in the UK. We had some really beautiful weather, blue skies, sunshine, and it was just stunning, and it was what I've been waiting for. I've ridden all through the winter. It's been cold, it's been wet, it's been dark, and I've just really enjoyed that riding. But then when you get out into a weekend like we've just had, it just felt so beautiful and amazing. And what I did was I did a bit of recording as I went down a really rocky lane that I did. And I did this lane really early on back in autumn when I was learning or trying to learn how to ride off-road. And I was so nervous, and it really spooked me as a lane. And I fell off lots of times on this. It really chewed me up and spat me out, and for no good reason. And over the winter I've practiced and I've practiced. I've done all the smooth ground practice and then got off road as well. And what I've found is this is one of my nemesis lanes. It's one that I keep going back to and thinking, right, what's it going to feel like today? And it's quite, downhill. It's very rocky, lots of loose rocks around. And at the weekend it just felt really good. And so I did a bit of narration on the video as I rode this rocky lane, just to try and give you an insight into the thought processes of riding the more sort of uneven, loose, rocky surfaces, because I know a lot of people get really freaked out by that type of riding. So I hope this sort of short video gives you a little bit of relaxation, a little bit of insight, and a little bit of stuff you can work on if you're trying to do some tougher stuff yourself. So I hope you enjoy it, and I'll whiz back to you at the end. So this is the next evolution. I came and tried this lane quite early on in riding off-road, and it absolutely chewed me up and spat me out. It's quite rocky. It was super wet and muddy when I did it. Hopefully it's going to be a bit drier today. But yeah, this lane really just destroyed me. It was quite a sunny day. I think it was in October, and I just didn't have the confidence to be riding the amount of rocks there were. So I dropped the bike quite a few times on it. I did it both directions. I made myself do it, but it really was quite challenging. So got to go and see what it's like today. And this is the type of lane that you'll get them where they really... Oh, got an insect in my helmet. That's out. That's a bit strange. Should have my visor down really. Or wear goggles. It's still a bit of a puddle here. And then previously it's been super muddy on this top bit. But let's go and see what it's like. Looks like they've been sorting four-wheel drive vehicles down here today. It's quite a popular one, I think. There's a lot of the lanes around here are actually quite narrow. So this is where it starts getting a bit rocky and a bit more challenging. But we'll see how we go today. And a lot of it is just not looking directly in front of you. And it's just letting the bike flow, letting the handlebars sort of do what they need to do. And it's so easy to start task focusing and object fixating in the middle. And I'm having to really make myself just look straight ahead and look further ahead, because the bike will just do it, and it's me that's going to make it drop. And what I tend to find is that you get these little rocks that tend to throw out the front wheel a bit, and if you're looking at them, it just makes it go all horribly wrong. And certainly on this bit, it gets a little bit more emotional. But what you find is if you've got a bit more momentum and you just let the front wheel ride where it wants to go, everything works pretty well. And it's quite disconcerting when you get the handlebars sort of feeling like they're going to jump out your hands, but actually they're not. And it's taken a lot of learning and a lot of trust doing that. And when I think back to doing this lane first time, it just was horrible. I was so nervous and I was so tensed up about it. But now if you just let everything flow a bit, it does go much better. Again, you've got to be a bit careful. There's probably dog walkers on here places. And you just have a quick little play around, you know, if you find the nice easy bits, have a little play around, get up the sides, just letting the bike go underneath you. And I'm not an expert at this yet, you know, I'm still really quite a novice. I'm loving it, but you know, it's just a gradual skill progression. You saw then the back wheel just knocked out a little bit from a rock, and it's learning just to sort of go with that and not be intimidated by it. And it's just letting the bike do what it wants, really. It's so easy to try and muscle the bike around, and that just doesn't work. That's the downhill bit. Pretty little dog in pyjamas. I've never done this when it's been dry. That's quite incredible. Been riding it all through the winter, and it's just been really soaking wet the whole time. I guess the only difference with that is the mud starts changing consistency and gets a bit thicker, and it will sort of scoot you around a little bit. Always get a little bit worried here because you've got a fence really close by with barbed wire on it, which is a bit twitchy. But this is beautiful for a change. Some branches. Yeah, this is really different. It's actually quite a pleasure to ride today, instead of feeling like you're just constantly going to slip out. Yeah, really nice. Very different. Nice crow. So I'm actually on my way to meet a friend. He's not really into the idea of riding off the tarmac, which is a shame. You know, he's a good friend. He got into bikes fairly late, and it'd be nice to be able to do some stuff like this with some company. But we're going to go and do a bit of a road ride. I thought I'd just get my little fix of the off-roady stuff on my way to meet him. So again, I'm just very mindful of walkers. So very rocky, very slippery, but it's just getting that front wheel float, getting your weight over the wheels, so getting your weight over the pegs. And the bike will do it, you just got to relax your body. Again, just be a little bit careful for walkers up here. Got slightly testosterone on the throttle there. So again, it's really easy to target fixate underneath you, but just trying to remember to learn to look ahead. And that was fun, that was really good. But it's really strange. You know, you do lanes like that and they make me nervous every time. I think it's because they sort of chewed me up and spat me out right at the start. So you've got that learned fear of that lane. And it takes quite a bit to get over that, and that's why I'd sort of suggest that it's worth being really gradual about what you work up to. You know, I made a few mistakes at the start and sort of over-pushed myself, thinking I was pretty cool having done a weekend training. But actually I just didn't have that experience, and it's taken a lot of riding to get to that point. And yeah, it still feels twitchy, it still feels like I'm having to use my processing brain quite a bit to make it all happen, but it's just gradually becoming more intuitive, and part of that is repetition, and part of it is trusting the bike. and it's having put the bike through enough different scenarios that you sort of know, actually, yeah, this bit's going to be alright, I'll manage this, the bike will be fine. It's just what's in my head that will stop me doing it or make me fall off. I hope you found that interesting and, you know, possibly a little bit enlightening. Probably got me a bit of heavy breathing and just sort of talking what was on my mind. But, you know, hopefully what we can take away from that is, you know, these bikes are really capable, but they're heavy, they're super heavy. And if we try and sort of muscle them round, which I've been guilty of and still am a lot of the time, it just doesn't work. You know, we can't muscle these bikes. We actually have to relax into it. We have to feel the bike. We have to feel our weight and where it is. And we just have to let the bike pretty much track where it wants. We sort of give it inputs to go in the right place, but then when we get to that right place, we just have to let the bike do what it wants. Now, the big thing I found, and I think back to when I did that lane first time, was I was looking at the ground the whole time. I was looking right in front of me. And you just know that it's going to go wrong at that point. You're just looking the whole time and you're going to come off. And I still have to actively force myself to look a lot further ahead. You can't change what's about to happen underneath you. You can't do anything about that. And the bike will just take it or it won't. In general, the bike really does take it. So what we need to do is be picking our line further down the track so that we can just be in the right place at the right time as we go down that track, and then you let the bike do its work as it goes over. So I hope you've enjoyed this, and I'm really enjoying putting these videos together, and hopefully they are helpful. It'd be great if you could subscribe to the channel, and I really appreciate that. And I'll see you again when I do the next video. Thanks.
You're